blood-stained and stuffed deep in the kitchen drawer. It simply read, "Don't stay after the third night. I moved into the apartment because it was cheap." That's it. Just gone through a rough breakup, needed a change, and when I saw the listing for a studio in a decent part of town for under $700 a month, I didn't ask questions. The landlord was an older guy named Charles, friendly enough, though he seemed eager for me to sign the lease and move in that same day. The apartment wasn't terrible, tiny, yes, but clean. Hardwood floors, big window, surprisingly quiet. The only thing that felt off was the smell, not strong but noticeable, like something sour that had seeped into the walls. Charles said the last tenant left some food in the fridge too long before moving out. Took care of it, he told me. The first night, I fell asleep quickly. I was exhausted from hauling boxes and hadn't even unpacked. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to a faint clicking sound. It came from the far wall near the closet. I figured it was the radiator or pipes adjusting to the cold. But when I got up to check, everything was still. Night 2, the clicking came again, this time paired with a soft tapping under the window. Not like someone knocking, more like fingernails. Just brushing. I tried to ignore it, pulled the blanket up to my chin, and told myself it was just the building settling. The third day, I started unpacking. That's when I found the note. Was organizing the kitchen drawers when I reached the back of the lowest one. There was a small slit between the drawer and the back panel, and I noticed something wedged deep inside. I fished it out with a butter knife. It was a folded piece of paper, yellowed, the corners soft with time. No envelope, just one line scrawled in shaky handwriting. "Don't stay after the third night." My stomach sank. I stared at it for a long time, trying to figure out if it was a joke. Maybe the last tenant left it as a prank. But something about the way the letters dipped and dragged like they were written in a hurry or under stress made me uneasy. I kept the note on the counter, just in case. That night was the third. I tried to distract myself, watching TV with the volume a little louder than usual. But I kept glancing toward the closet and that space beneath the window. Around 1:40 a.m., the power went out. Everything went pitch black, no lights outside either. Just total silence. Not even the usual hum of the fridge or distant cars. Then the clicking started. Faster this time, and closer, from the direction of the closet. I reached for my phone, turned on the flashlight, and swept it across the room. Nothing. I slowly walked toward the closet, each step creaking beneath me. The clicking stopped. I put my hand on the doorknob. It felt warm, warmer than it should have been in a freezing apartment. I hesitated, then pulled it open. Empty, not just clothes, a few boxes and shadows. I let out a shaky breath, turned back toward the bed, and froze. There's someone standing in the corner of the room. Not moving, just there. A tall figure, completely still in the farthest shadow. I raised my phone again, but the flashlight flickered and died. The room plunged into darkness. I didn't scream. I couldn't. My throat locked up, and I stumbled backward, slamming the closet door shut. I reached blindly toward the nightstand, fumbling for the lighter I used for candles. When the flame lit, the corner was empty again. I didn't sleep. I sat in the kitchen until morning, watching the hallway, holding the note in my hand. The next day, I went straight to Charles. He looked tired, like he hadn't slept in days. I told him everything about the note, the sounds, the figure. He sighed, rubbed his eyes, and said, "You should have left yesterday." "What does that mean?" I asked. "The last guy," he said, "lived there a month. He was normal, quiet. Then he started acting weird, talking to himself. Said something lived in the walls. Said it only came after dark. On the 4th night, he boarded up the closet. 5th night, he broke the window and ran. Where is he now? No idea. Disappeared." I asked him why he didn't tell me any of this. He looked me dead in the eyes. "Because no one listens until it's too late." I packed a bag and checked into a hotel that night. Went back the next afternoon with a friend to grab the rest of my things. The power was back on, everything looked normal. No sign of anything unusual except the note. It wasn't on the counter anymore. It was back in the drawer, tucked neatly in the same spot I'd pulled it from. And underneath it, scribbled in the same shaky hand, was a second line, "Too late now."